So let us continue with Nash therapeutics study streak. After the remedies Ticta, Rumex, and Arum triphyllum, which Dr. Nash mentions in Leaders in Homeopathic Therapeutics, he writes about arnica, hemamelis, colocynth, and so on. We will pick up two very similar remedies today: arnica and colocynth, arnica and hemamelis. Sorry, what Dr. Nash writes and how he compares these remedies with the other remedies which are similar in nature. All those who are joining in to see this Instagram live should go through Leaders in Homeopathic Therapeutics by Dr. Nash at least once in their lifetime. And once you do that, you will get addicted to it to read every year. I must have read it 5 or 6 times in the last 15 years of my practice, and it is very addictive. We should have such habits which will motivate us and inspire us every day or every year. There will come a time in homeopath's life when things will seem to be struggle. There will be challenges. No one has an easy life. Dr. Nash's book is one of the books which will inspire you, and that's where I connect with this book very closely. Let's go over to see what Dr. Nash writes in Arnica. Bruise. We all know from our academic years and from the clinical point of view what is Arnica known for and why are we giving it. And everything which on which he lies seems hard. We all know this. And it is also similar to Baptisia, Phytolacca, Rustox, Ruta, China. Now he how he compares all these five remedies. Those who are watching on YouTube, Homeo Setu YouTube channel, will see a PowerPoint running besides my pop-up window of video. Those who are on Instagram just have this option of me talking because in Instagram we don't have the screen sharing feature. But it's interesting that I am able to connect and influence many people on both the platforms to take up the study of Leaders in Homeopathic Therapeutics by Dr. Nash. And if it has helped you in your practice, do let me know in the comments so that I am aware that this work is helping at least one homeopath out there. What are the five remedies Dr. Nash compares arnica with? Baptisia, Phytolacca, Rustox, Ruta, and China. Baptisia, Dr. Nash writes, feeling as if lying on a board changes position, bed feels so hard, makes him feel sore and bruised. So, good evening, Doctor. Someone with the profile MK Homeopathic World, and thank you for your valuable wish. I hope you're reading Nash Therapeutics, and if not, go through it. If you have gone through it, read it once again, as many times as you can. Read the books, reread the books again and again to get influenced, inspired, and motivated in your practice because no one else is going to motivate you. There will be challenges, there will be uh, hard times in every homeopath's life, and the only way he can take inspiration is from these stalwarts who were in their own battlefields, and every homeopath is in his own battlefield. So, Dr. Nashiv Khan from Gwalior MP, good to connect with you. Let's go over and see what Dr. Nash writes about Baptisia. I read Phytolacca. I will read right away. Feels sore all over the from the head to the foot. Muscles sore and stiff, can hardly move without groaning. So there will be a kind of a groaning element in phytolacca. Rush talks, soreness in every muscle which passes off during exercise, feels stiff and sore on first beginning to move. So these are the things which we will be able to elicit from the patient easily and clinically. For Ruta, he writes, all parts on which the body lies are painful and bruised, very similar to arnica. And he tells also a line about staph that it also has a similar feeling. And for China officinalis, Dr. Nash writes, he's sore all over in the joints, bones, periosteum, as if they had been strained, drawing, tearing, especially in the spine, the sacrum, and the knees and the thighs. So it's almost another similar remedy to arnica, but the flatulent complaints, the aggression from touch, very similar to arnica also. We will be able to find out from concomitant symptoms. Now, going further, Dr. Nash tells us that all these five remedies will seem indicated in all the cases. And it is not wise and not homeopathic to give all the five remedies in one bottle and give to the patient. So he knew that future homeopaths would be doing it. Some homeopaths still do it, which is not advisable. Each remedy is like a sword having its own action. If you read Kent's lesser writings, you will get to know. So don't try to combine everything. Try to find out something peculiar. Give one remedy, if not better, give the next later on, but don't mix both. There will be Burnett approach, which many homeopaths will take, but that is also a pattern of giving medicines and not multiple remedies in the same bottle or same, uh, you know, uh, same dose. So, what Dr. Nash writes further is that these five remedies are very similar to arnica, and then he goes on to compare arnica and baptisia very closely. He says that arnica has a kind of a arnica and baptisia both of these have kind of a sore bruised feeling, stupor, dark streak running on the tongue, and deep red face. It will all look similar in some cases of typhoid fever or long standing fevers, long standing pains. But he tells one line, look further. How do we look further? If stool and urine are passed unconsciously and there appear suggulations under the skin, arnica is the remedy that we can think of. If the patient tosses around in the bed, reaching here and there is some delirium and complaining that my body parts are scattered and I can't get it together, and there is offensiveness as objectively fed by the observing people or the physician, baptisia should be thought of. So these are the two major differences given by Dr. Nash. You can make your own differences and make your own landmarks. This is what Dr. Gunwante also tells us. It is important to make your own landmarks when you practice homeopathy, because there is no guide or no proper landmark for each homeopath in his own practice. It is individualization for the homeopath as well, not only for the patient. So he tells further, Dr. Nash, in his book Leaders in Homeopathic Therapeutics, that a case of bruise sensation with diphtheria will not be helped by arnica, because there are throat complaints, which is a soft tissue swelling, bruise sensation, and the heat and redness of the upper limb, feet are cold. In such cases, phytolacca will work really well. And if there is a wet ailments from, then rust dogs will help. These are the very basic things which Dr. Nash gives us in his book, and these are the only things which the patient will tell you. Why are we running around with new methods or new, you know, uncertain approaches or interpreting approaches when we already know that this particular case has clearly evident physical particulars or physical journals? Start with this basic, simple, classical approaches, and you will find life is much easier, and then go on and find out what you wish to find out using newer methods. It can be mind, it can be sensation, it can be GNM, etc. etc. But these are the basic things which all homeopaths need to understand and master. Let's go further, and Dr. Nash writes about arnica. There are few salient features we all know from Allen's keynotes to all the different materia medicas, but just a revision. Sore, bruise, sensation of this remedy should always be remembered in affections, acute and chronic, especially trauma. There is concussion, fracture of skull. Natrum sulf is another good remedy in such cases. Compression of the brain, headaches of long-standing, meningitis, apoplexy, inflammation under the eyes, retinal hemorrhages, patients having diabetes, mellitus, having retinopathy, arnica can be thought also crotalus. And one important feature which all homeopaths should know and often overlook for arnica is that it has a power of absorption. In some repertories, it is one of the remedies mentioned along with kali iode and sulfur, which can absorb some elements which are not required to be present there. For example, in the inflammation of the knee, a patient had a sprain and there is inflammation of the knee. You can give Rustox for the sprain, but there is some fluid. Who will absorb it? Rustox will not absorb it. You will need to give arnica. Give arnica in the highest potency. So it expedites absorption of blood clots, and also it is a good remedy in deafness, epistaxis, newly filled teeth. All the patients coming from dentist may need staph or arnica. Just remember it. And affections from blows on the stomach. Now, I he writes this interesting point over here. Affections from blows on the stomach is because in the next very few lines he writes about a case of dyspepsia. For years, this patient had, and the patient didn't remember any other history except that this kick of the horse was there. With Arnica 200, this patient got cured. It's really an eye opener. We often beat around different remedies for dyspepsia, for acidity, for irritations, without missing the onset or the causative factors. So go back in time. It's a time travel for all homeopaths to find out what the patient is suffering from the time the problem is existing. Many times I do take the entire history of the case, and then I go back to the entire case, I review it, I ask them that these are the main spheres where you are affected. Now, can you tell me exactly what was your mind situation after taking the entire case, physicals, physical particulars, physical generals, mind symptoms, thermals, finishing the entire case? I go back. If I don't get the cause or onset duration progress, I ask them again, can you tell me about what was the situation, any ailments from any cause that you remember that this complaint started after? In most of the cases, you will get something. Also, you can ask in long standing cases what was the psychology of patient back then when the problem started. This will give you a clue to give a remedy which will work as an intercurrent. He felt insulted, Kulosin, staph, nux vomica. He felt, you know, did not want to talk. There was consolation aggravates. You can think of natramine. So these remedies will serve as an intercurrent. They are not going to cure. Maybe the constitutional will be the one that will cure, but intercurrent will push the constitutional remedy. So last but not the least, arnica, which Dr. Nash has explained so beautifully with a beautiful case. He then gives on a few important symptoms of arnica which we can easily find from different patients. One of the symptoms being stupor with involuntary discharge of feces and urine. In all cases of fevers, you will find it. Fears being stuck or touched by those coming towards him. So you will see people protecting themselves. Those are arnica or china for you. putrid smell from the mouth, offensive irritations or flatter smelling like rotten eggs. Bruised, sore feeling in the uterine region, cannot walk erect. Now, many cases of soreness or bruised feeling in the uterine region can be helped by belly spur. Soreness of the parts after labor prevents hemorrhages or pyremia. Arnica can be a wonderful remedy as the pregnancy is over, the delivery has happened, and the mother is just about to feed the child, or there is one day of episode of any bruised soreness. In cases of cough, the child cries before paroxysms as if sore. While answering, the patient falls into deep stupor before finishing. So he will answer half and go back to sleep. You will see this mostly in cases of fevers. So in cases of fevers, the main question that you can ask every parent is that whether the child is going to sleep, is the child talking in fevers, moaning, muttering, or answering your questions. You will get answer in either of them. And you can ask the parent, if the child is answering, if does he answer fully or go back to sleep midway. If he answers and goes back to again the same state as earlier, arnica can be thought. Give a thought to phosphoric acid as well. Head alone or face alone is hot and rest of the body is cool. This is one of the key features of arnica. Many small boils, painful one after the other, extremely sore, arnica will be indicated. Especially bones which have boils, like the shin bone or the face, especially the forehead, or only pimples on this particular part. This I gave one patient, she had only pimples on this particular part. Now, this is the bone which we have, and the skin is very thin. There can be some fat in some people, but she was very thin, lean, and emaciated. Only on these sides, symmetrical appearance, only on this part, arnica was given. Arnica will be one of the remedies along with arsenic and lacasis and other septic remedies which will prevent suppuration, septicemia, and promotes absorption. So I already spoke about how it is a useful remedy when it is required in cases of injuries and all kinds of sprains where a lot of swelling has developed. It is the remedy which will absorb. If you are not sure that there is bluish soreness, sulfur can be given. It is going to modify the action of the remedy which is given as an sprain remedy and absorb the fluids which are in excess. Next remedy which we should discuss and very well closely related to arnica is hemamelis, written by Dr. Nash in his book Leaders in Homeopathic Therapeutics. Venous hemorrhages, sore rheumatism is the indication for hemamelis. Arnica capillaries causing relaxation, but hemamelis has veins which are full and sore. So much so that some of the homeopaths have called it as aconite of the veins. Now it is a powerful rival in cases of varicose veins with fluoric acid and pulsatilla. And not to forget hemamelis as a remedy in all cases of varicocele and inflammation of spermatic veins or orchitis, which is another terminology, inflammation of spermatic veins for varicocele. Hemorrhages, if they are dark and black venous blood, hemamelis can be indicated. And it is a good for external applications. Dr. Nash tells that arnica, calendula, hemamelis, in cases of external injuries only, we should think of hemamelis. So I hope this session has given you some insight into these two remedies from Dr. Nash's therapeutics, and I am very much eager to bring out some interesting news for all homeopaths very soon. If you are connected to uh, Homeo Setu on all the social media channels, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Threads, everywhere. So that's all, and I hope those who are watching have got the benefit of it, and stay tuned and stay connected for interesting learning through Omyo Setu.